Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about when your snowblower stops working and you go out there and pull the chain for 20 minutes. But really, we're going to talk about wins and losses because I'll tell you, that was a loss this morning. Welcome back to the Daily Chronicle. I'm Keith.
And I'm Rodney. This is where we talk about, all of the things, including the wins and the losses. And we're making a record for our daughters. And we're trying to get after it and bring our best selves. So your snowblower stopped working?
I think I flooded the engine. And we got, I don't know,
from attempting to start it too many times or what?
Yeah, from pumping it, the fuel injector a couple too many times because I thought I was out of gas and I hadn't used it since November. So I was just out there. And I got frustrated and I hit it and now my hand is bruised. Like, it was all around a loss for that. So then I had to shovel. And that in of itself is never fun, especially when it's icy from the day before. I mean, we could talk about this all day. But
it was an L, you say.
It is an L. And you know what's interesting about these topics as I think about recording them and just talking at random about the things that we think about as we move through this journey.
I anticipate you will enlighten.
Yeah, I'm going to share. Is like the idea of doing this for Annabelle, Adeline, Ruby, and Reese. Like, I think that's just such a cool thing. I really appreciate when people engage and get a part of it. But like that's just a cool thing that I hope they look back one day and go, yeah, probably not going to watch my, dad and Uncle Rodney or Uncle Keith take care of that. But, hey, it's there for you.
Right. No, so, I agree. If I do say so myself, it is very cool.
Wins and losses.
It'll be something that they can have should they decide,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you call that, I want to go in, like you called it an L. What? Did you get it started eventually or no?
No,
or was
no,
it
I had to shovel. Yeah, it was complete.
Yes.
Complete loss.
Complete effort. So you had to shovel. So, okay, that's part of how you dealt with it. Like
Yeah.
So talk to me about, my ashy hands. Talk to me about how you dealt with it. Like what was going through your head? It was flooded. You had to get the driveway and potentially sidewalk?
Yeah, my mom was coming over. It's a holiday, right? So my mom was coming over and I needed to at least get she had to come up. I don't want her to slip and fall. I want her to be able to get her car in the driveway. We were going out to breakfast. So I was just, I had to clear it up. She was on her way. She was, going to be there soon. And I literally spent 20 minutes trying to get my snowblower. So it was either going to be, you keep going until she gets there, have her park on the street, and then walk up the driveway in the maybe 6 inches of snow that we got.
There's your reason.
Or figure it out, right?
So you had a task and a timeline.
Correct.
And it wasn't working. So then
it wasn't working. So I had to audible. And I didn't shovel the whole driveway. I shoveled paths of the cars, like tire tracks, right? Mm-hmm. And then some space to walk just to get things moving. And I'll probably try to go snowblow later.
What was your
settle down?
I forgot to ask you this at the beginning, like how you were feeling when we started this call, but how were you feeling when that was happening?
More frustrated than I felt in a few weeks. Like I literally hit my snowblower.
Did you kick the snowblower?
No, I kicked it. I pushed it. I punched it. Like I was so mad. My hand's bruised. Like it's swollen. You could see it.
Good.
I did one of these. I was like, and it hit the bar. Just bad. So
did you feel like when you did it? Because you're like, I'm mad at you. And then you hit it and you started hurting. Like, did you feel worse or better? Or now I've compounded the pain.
They've just made it worse. Just made it worse. But still, you gotta figure it out, right? And I think this is the point about losses. Like, okay, my snowblower didn't work, but I don't look at it as a loss. It's funny to think about, right? But it is what it is.
If you'd have broken your hand, it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a real bad thing. But it is what it is, right? I'm trying to use my shift key, right? Like do with the pinky, and when I'm typing, it hurts. But you just got to figure it out. And I think when we talk about wins and losses, and I think we share a common mentality, but at the end of the day, like if the snowblower had worked and all was good, it would have just gone 100% to plan. But at the end of the day, the accomplishment needed to happen. Like needed safe passage in and out of my driveway, and needed safe walking space for my mom, right? So,
So
whatever
at
that
what point
turns
did
out to
you?
be.
And I feel like this is going to be just kind of an interview of you, and then I'll talk about wins and losses in the next one.
Okay, that's cool. Maybe you
do
can
you-
come with a win, because I think that's just as important.
Yeah, or like my framework for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Along with a win. But I'm curious, at what point you were really frustrated? Like, you're kicking and hitting this thing, you hurt yourself. What point did you flip over to, okay, now I've got to figure out what to do now? And how did you do that? Like, how did you make that switch?
It's a good question.
Do you know how you made it?
Well,
Did you look at the clock?
No, well, I did actually look at the clock. I knew how much longer I had for my mom to get there. And so I had made the decision, like, it's either partial shovel or just a bad situation for my mom. So one of those situations, I think it was, I probably had like 5-10 minutes to go, and I just had to cut my losses. I probably will get the snowblower started, but it was one of those situations, like, how much longer is it going to take? That's an unknown. It's a variable I can't control for at this point. So the only thing I can control is, well, I either keep going down this road, or I grab a shovel and do the minimal possible necessary effort to make this, we'll call it a success, but to at least have that result that needed to happen.
Was part of the frustration, like, you were going to snowblow the whole thing? Like, yes, it was going to help your mom, but it was going to help you and your wife and everybody. Like, it was going to be done.
And it was going to be done. Yeah.
And it was going to be done.
Yeah.
Now you're like, crap, I can do a little bit, enough for her and to get by for a little bit.
Right.
But I'm going to have to come back to it.
Right.
That's more work later that I wasn't anticipating.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And you're out there, it's just not cooperating. It's cold. I got dressed for this. I had to bring Adeline to school. So, like, there's a whole timing element, and it wasn't happening in the time frame that it needed to happen. So the frustration was a buildup, because if I had, let's say, an extra hour, I probably would have just said, okay, I'm going to put the snowblower away, let the engine settle down. I'm pretty sure I flooded it, and I'll come back to it in an hour. Like, this has happened before. Since it's a holiday, I probably would have had that time, but I didn't have that time. So I had to make it work, and it worked out. It stinks. I have to go back and clean it up, but that is what it is.
But that's if I had to sum up what I'm hearing, I feel like it's losses, but it's firstly life throwing curveballs, life not behaving as I want it to or need it to, and then making a choice. Like, a moment happens where you get to choose. All right, am I gonna make this a complete loss, or am I gonna get what I can out of it and keep moving? And that's what it sounds like you did.
That's it.
The second ladder.
Yeah. And I think generally speaking, that's, I think, how we both approach it, right? Sometimes you just get so frustrated, but like, giving up isn't an option, right?
I think there are moments where I allow my ego and my inner child to just tantrum and just like, I want this to work.
Yeah.
And then
stubbornness says, no, I will win this, you stupid machine. I'm smarter than you, but clearly I'm not.
Yeah. And then like 4 hours later, I'm on the ground in tears.
Right.
There might be blood. It's just not good.
And then, I mean, on the positive side of things, there are things that need to happen today that are going to impact my ability to get, today's my light day for working out. So that ended up being my workout. You pull on a chain for 20 minutes, right? And then you shovel. Right? You shovel. It's and I'm in it.
Shoveling.
Yeah.
That reminds you of muscles you didn't really remember.
So brutal. And I'm trying to do both sides, but like, I'm right-handed. I'm pretty dominant right-handed, so it's like hard for me to shovel the other way.
You're trying to actually turn it into.
I'm trying to work out, but you kind of double down on it. You got to make lemon out of lemonade.
Let's throw a question out there.
Yeah.
I wanna ask anybody listening, how do you deal with these moments? Like, how do you deal with a potential, like, when life throws the curve? How do you deal with that, and how do you turn it into a win or
when your snowblower's not working? How do you make it happen?
Who don't even know what a snowblower is. when your surfboard isn't
That's good. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,